Thank you for tuning in for the Information Network, and I'm Jackson Homick. I'm going to be talking about the topic of tech and uprising of information systems, or IS. I know there have been many questions that the public has had revolving around the various techniques and methods used in the industry. Today, I've brought in two experts, Henry and Emily, to help discuss and help us make sense of these vocab that's going about the industry.
Thank you, Jackson, for the introduction. And I think I speak for both of us when I say it is a confusing subject, and Emily and I would love to shed some light on any questions you might have.
Thank you guys both for being here. Well, let's start things off. I've been talking with my uncle, who is a systems analyst for an undisclosable tech company. And his primary objective is to use information technology to analyze and solve business problems. What types of positions might someone consider when looking for work or a position in this industry?
Of course. Now it's important to look at what information systems actually are. They're composed of four different elements, that being people, technology, tasks, and structure. These elements are used as an organizational system to collect, process, store, and distribute information. People in the industry tend to aspire to be Chief Information Officers, or CFOs, because they are the executives that are in charge of the information management of a company. More specifically, the implementation and usability of the information and computer technologies.
I agree, Emily. Most people tend to follow in those footsteps, but it is important to keep in mind that most people start at the bottom. Usually, people without any experience will start as support analysts. In this position, the analyst will provide for computer programs or hardware issues that occur when the product is being used by the client. This position gives people the opportunity to go through training and get a better sense of the company and technology in general. The last position I want to explain is a systems engineer. A systems engineer is tasked with figuring out how to design, integrate, and manage the systems over their lifetime. This is more technical of a job and would require more training and experience than others, but will be more mid-tier job in the organizational structure.
Great. Maybe we could shed some light into the data analytics aspects of this.
Sure. Well, to start, data is usually accessible within the database, which is a collection of information kept inside a computer that holds the data electronically.
Also, all of this data in the database is held in the cloud that contains and organizes all of the information automatically.
The cloud is basically a storage bin for large amounts of data. To put this in perspective, individual electronic devices store data in amounts of gigabytes, which are the larger measurements, and gigabytes are made up of megabytes, and then megabytes are in turn made up of kilobytes, which is the smallest measurement before just the byte. And the cloud can store billions of gigabytes, so quite a significantly more amount of data.
That's very interesting. Would you care to share some examples about e-commerce and domain name?
Yes, well, for starters, I am confident that everyone watching this interview uses an e-commerce website. For example, Amazon, eBay, and many more. All of these examples are e-commerce platforms that allow individuals to buy and sell over the internet. Every website also operates under their unique domain name, which is an online address that allows users to access these websites.
Now, when talking about these websites and the data involved, I know many people or businesses have very personal information which is stored through the methods you just described. I recently read an article by the New York Times which talked about a server breach at Capital One, which exposed many clients' personal information and data. Can you guys speak to any of the measures that are in place currently to help prevent intrusions like this?
Yeah, so we actually have a few tools to help prevent issues like this. One of the main ways we can prevent it is through encryption. And this is when the information is converted into kind of a secret code, if you will. and this code can hide the meaning of the information, and in order to find what it is, it has to be decrypted. Some companies have come up with very complex encryptions, which keeps the data very secure.
I just want to add that many websites also use what is called an intrusion detection system, or IDS for short. IDSs monitor traffic on websites to help prevent people's personal data from becoming corrupted. Basically, it looks for abnormal traffic activity to detect any malware or viruses that might be attempting to access someone's information.
Well, thank you both. I hope this puts some people's worries to rest. Unfortunately, that's all we have for tonight, but once again, thank you both for the help and expertise, and I hope everyone has a great night.